What is going on, guys? It is Tony from Lomo Paintball, and you might be asking yourself why I'm holding mini bowling pins, because today, taking you to school, a little DIY, build your own paintball target set. So you might be wondering, like, wait, what? Is this Bob Vila's show now or something like that, right? No, today a lot of people ask, you know, we shoot at targets in the videos. How'd you build it? What'd you build it on? How much did it cost? Stuff like that. Today, Mark was gracious enough to bring in some mini bowling pins. Got these bad boys. What else? We bought some hinges. So we got heavy duty strap hinges here. You go to the local hardware store. I think maybe total he's got maybe 40-50 bucks invested into it. You guys can obviously do it a lot cheaper at home if you already have scrap wood laying around, if you've got old hinges or screws and stuff. But Mark obviously had to show out and get all fancy brand new hinges and screws. So what we're gonna do today, he decided to choose mini bowling pins. We're gonna line them up on top of this sawhorse, which was, I don't know, about 20 bucks, right, Mark?
Yeah,
something
we've
like
had
that.
It forever. I don't even
Yeah, it's
remember
old.
now.
It's an old sawhorse. Like I said, if you guys have stuff laying around your house, all you need is some wood flaps. You need some hinges. Grab whatever you have laying around, just so you can have stuff when you shoot it, it falls down, obviously. So I got a drill gun. I got some screws, star bits. So this is what we got, right?
Yeah.
So,
the hinges is the point, so when you shoot it doesn't go flying across your yard or
correct.
wherever.
Yeah, and if
it's
you
gonna
don't
tip
want to
over, you go back, you knock it back up.
That's exactly right. So we're just doing this because people have asked us before, how'd you do? What do you guys do? And this is it. It's very, very simple.
All right.
Right, Mark? All right, so what are we doing? We're screwing into these?
Yeah, I think it'd be easier. So we bought longer screws to go into the bowling pins.
Yes, we
did. Like I said, you could use 2x4s, 1x4s, but because we didn't want to use the short screws that came with the hinges. If Tony holds it up real quick, you can see it did come with small hinges.
Yep.
But I'm afraid if we use those in the bottom of the bowling pin, after a couple shots, it's just going to rip right out.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take the screws that came in the hinge packet, we're going to screw those into the sawhorse, and then use the longer screws that Mark bought and screw those right into mini bowling pins, or that's what we're using. You guys can, like I said, use whatever you want that doesn't cost you a bunch of money at home. So, all right, let's do this. Bob the Builder coming to serve you. So we're going to
So we'll have you do one complete, Tony.
Correct.
Just to show the steps, and then we'll take a break and show you guys what it looks like when it's all done.
All right, sounds good. So first off, we're going to do, you want me to do the bowling pin first, Mark, or what?
I think the bowling pin would be easier because once it's mounted to the sawhorse, you have less maneuverability.
All right, so what I'm going to do here is then, obviously, if this is going to go onto the sawhorse like that, we're going to want to do 2 screws into the bowling pin. That way, when you hit it, it goes flat. You don't want to have a bunch of leverage back here. Right, Mark?
Yep.
That makes sense?
Yeah, you want the bowling pin mounted as close to the hinge as possible.
We got to put some oil on these things. These things are rough.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that. But first, you got to mark the holes. So what we're going to do, line up the bowling pin on the actual hinge. And you guys can use a Sharpie, or use what I'm going to do is the end of the screw. I'm just going to mark the holes on the actual bottom of the bowling pin. So it's going to be hard for you to see, Mark, but so you get your holes lined up, get your screws in there, kind of get a starting pilot hole per se. Get them bad boys in there.
So depending on the screws you pick, you may have to drill pilot holes. I spent the extra on some screws that are self-tapping, so that's saving time.
So you can push them in there. You can mark it with a Sharpie, pre-drilled, pre-tap, whatever you want to do. Just get the job done. We're just making paintball targets here. So I'm going to do this. We're going to screw these bad boys in.
You can set it down. I mean, I can see if it's...
So one, let's grab another one since the first one fell.
Tire hazard.
That's it. And we're definitely going to oil these things, Mark, for sure.
Yeah,
he's got his lube here. All right, so yes. All right, so now that I got the bowling pin actually secured with the 2 longer screws, now I'm going to use the stock screws that came out of the hinge package. We're going to line it up on the actual, sawhorse and go from there. Since I'm using 6 bowling pins, make sure you guys space it out correctly. 4 for whatever size targets that you're using. So drill these bad boys in, and we're gonna keep it moving. All right, Mark, you ready, dude?
Yeah.
Think you can handle this?
I can.
Oh, the wind. So, where's my other ones?
Make sure the hinges stay lined up with the front of whatever you're mounting them to, so that none of your targets are on there crooked. If they're crooked, they're not gonna tip when you hit them.
That's right. So pretty much at the end of the day, obviously, as you guys are seeing, I'm gonna shoot it from your direction that you're watching. These are gonna fall over in a perfect world, and everything's gonna be very nice.
Yay. All right, there's
And that's
one.
that. We're gonna throw some oil on these bad boys. That way they fall down a lot easier when you shoot them. And this is just a little DIY project. We'll see you shortly.
Yep, finish the next ones up, and when we're back, we'll shoot them.
All right, guys, now that you can see, obviously you weren't gonna watch all the boring parts of me screwing all this crap in. Anyways, so when I shoot it from your angle, these things are gonna fall down, and hopefully that works for you. Like I said, you scrap stuff around home if you don't wanna go invest a bunch of money into making your own DIY paintball targets for your, you know, own self motivation or whatever you say, Mark. What do you think?
Well, like I said, if you're looking for something to shoot at that you're not gonna have to chase all over the place, these
Correct.
are the wood bowling pins. I picked them up on Amazon. I'll put a link to them in the description. But don't use the plastic ones. Obviously, the plastic ones are ripped, dry rot. We've shot these wood ones loose already, so they should hold up to the paintball
Mark just didn't want to chase them around anymore, so
Nope.
that's why he said we're going to screw them to the sawhorse, keep it moving.
Right.
So guys, little
Let's set 'em up
DIY,
and shoot 'em.
super easy. Yeah, let's shoot them. Obviously, you saw Bob the Builder do a little DIY. Today, I'm shooting the custom part swap that we did: CS2 Pro marker, Spire 3 hopper, Ninja SL2 Cerakote tank, and now let's shoot these bowling pins and let the wind come down, Mark.
Let the wind come.
Let the wind
Hey, guess
come
what?
down.
Those bowling pins aren't falling down from the wind like they were before.
Okay, you ready?
Yep. They're not tipping over.
Why are they not tipping over? Why do they do that?
Let me check, make sure I didn't put them on. No, the one tipped back a little bit, so they're on.
No,
there,
they're
right?
definitely tipping back. They're just not
You
falling
just don't
over.
have enough air pressure, I think. Oh, there he goes. Hey, I mean, we see the hits. I don't have to go chasing them.
You know what I'm gonna do, Mark?
They're not
I like
breaking?
it. Yeah, they're not breaking. You don't chase them all over the place. What you got to do is just define and get your accuracy better, because if you shoot them right near the tip, I think it's just enough leverage to send them over the edge.
Yep.
But the tip on those things are so small.
That's why it's target practice.
It's got to be that stiff bad boy. And I'm running out of air too. But all right, guys, that was a little DIY. I could put something lighter other than wooden bowling pins on there. Scrap flank of wood, whatever you guys want to use. Don't forget, shoplomopaintball.com. We don't carry these products, but we do carry tons of other good things. Thanks for watching, guys. And Mark has a question, it looks like.
Of course we do. From the YouTubes, how to fill your compressed air tank. It'd be Itsy Bitsy, I guess.
Itsy Bitsy?
Wants to know, how long can I leave air in a carbon fiber tank?
You can leave air as long as you want to in there. Just don't keep your tank in super frigid conditions or super hot conditions. And if you don't have a leak, that air will stay in there for a very long time. So, I mean, if you don't plan on using it, you might want to drain it out just so there's no stress on the gauges or burst disc. But it'll last as long as you don't have a leak. So
There you go. If you got a question, leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, we will see you guys next
See ya.
time.